Hey, what's going on everyone? It's Lewis here from hostsorter.com, and in today's video I'm going to be covering the topic of what is VPS web hosting and whether or not it's the right type of hosting for your website. Okay, let's get stuck in. And also, if you stay tuned to the very end of this video, I'll give you a link to the web hosting provider that I use personally and also a really good discount to help you get started with your online journey. So before I get stuck into what VPS web hosting is, I'll first cover the basics of web hosting in general and how it pertains to website owners and the internet. So in a nutshell, web hosting is the equivalent of storing your files in, say, a filing cabinet to online. So any files you want to store online, this can be articles, videos, photos, podcasts, and so on. If you want to distribute those to the World Wide Web, then you'll have to store them online in a server or a data center, which is provided by a web hosting provider. So if someone was to go to a website, say hostsorter.com, they have to access that information and that data from somewhere, just like they would in a traditional filing cabinet when they can go in, open the drawer, and take out the file. So in this instance, when you go to a website, it sends a request to a server, and these servers can be located pretty much throughout the world depending on the hosting provider that you use. So when it comes to web hosting, there's three basic tiers that you can choose from. The first is shared web hosting, the second is VPS web hosting, and the third is dedicated web hosting. So shared web hosting is the most affordable option, and you're essentially sharing one server with hundreds or thousands of people, which allows you to get really good quality servers at a really low price. But the only downside to that is that you only have a slither of the overall server. So you may be limited to the amount of traffic that you can receive online. So this is where a VPS web hosting provider comes in. So you still get a chunk of a server, but instead of just maybe 1% or 0.5%, you can negotiate on the amount of size and the amount of storage that you need from the server. So instead of sharing with hundreds or thousands of people, with a VPS server, you may only be sharing with maybe 5 or 10 other people. So you get a lot more storage resources and usually faster speeds as well. So if you have a website that you think will get hundreds of thousands of visitors per month, or maybe even millions, then a VPS host or a provider is a really good option to start out with. And also, if you're on a shared web hosting plan and your website has taken off and you're receiving a lot of traffic, then upgrading to a VPS server may be a really good option, as it's still kind of halfway in between a shared web hosting plan and a dedicated web hosting plan. So you kind of get the best of both worlds, large traffic at kind of somewhat affordable prices. So if you're looking to get started with a shared web host or a VPS web host, I'll actually put a link down below to the web hosting provider that I actually use personally for my websites, and that is Bluehost. And currently I receive over 150,000 visitors per month on my shared web hosting plan. So this is a really good starting point if you're just looking to start a website. And also, if you look at the link down below in the description, it will actually give you a pretty good discount for your first website. And also, if you're looking at comparing other web hosting providers, I've actually made a really good comparison chart, which you can find online. And that's very easily done by searching for web hosting comparison, followed by hostsorter.com. And if you Google this in my website, and that post will come up in the first position. And then you can compare my top 8 web hosting recommendations, and you can see which one is potentially better for your needs and what you will need from that web hosting provider. So hopefully this video has been helpful. If you'd like to see more like this, please hit the like and subscribe button. And also, if you have any other questions about web hosting, feel free to ask down below in the comment section, and I'll be happy to help you out. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the next one.